Hello, fellow food lovers. Today I will be making Chinese chicken and salted fish fried rice. You will need one chicken breast, boneless, one small piece of Cantonese salted fish, 2 cups of day-old rice, 1 tablespoon of ginger minced, salt, 2 green onions, and a 1/4 cup of green peas. For the chicken marinade, you will need Chinese white pepper, sesame oil, soy sauce, and cooking oil. Okay, so I got a little piece of ginger here. I'm gonna cut the skin off, and then I'm gonna mince it. So this dish, chicken and salted fish fried rice, it's a very popular Hong Kong dish, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know if it's still hugely popular, but maybe 10 years ago, a lot of restaurants were offering it on their menus when I was living in Vancouver, and everyone was ordering it at that time. I don't live in Vancouver anymore, so I don't know if it's still hugely popular, but I certainly enjoy it myself. Okay, so once we mince the ginger, I'm going to take 2 green onions and I'm going to slice it up. First, I'm going to wash it and cut the roots off because you don't need the roots. The green onion will be added at the end, kind of like a garnish, and kind of to give a bit of freshness to the fried rice. Okay, so I got a little slice of salted fish. This is a Cantonese salted fish. I think it's a carp, a river carp of some sort. Anyways, I cut the fins off from the top and the bottom, and I'm cutting the meat off along the side of the center bone, because the bone in the center you don't really need, and you can kind of cut off the little bits of meat that are attached to the bone. And then we'll just mince up that little piece of salted fish. So salted fish in Cantonese cooking, a lot of times it's used as a flavoring ingredient, and also a lot of people will put a piece in with the rice when they steam it. So when they have raw rice in water and they're about to cook it, they'll just throw a piece of slice of salted fish on top of that, and then that would be part of their meal. It has a really strong, pungent smell and taste to it. So a little bit goes a long ways. You won't necessarily eat an entire salted fish by itself. It's just you take a little slice and then use it as a flavoring ingredient. Okay, so I got a 1/4 cup of green peas as well, and 2 cups of day-old rice. Okay, so I got a chicken breast. It's boneless. I've sliced it up into thin slices. And we're going to marinate it now. So I'm going to throw in a dash of Chinese white pepper. A splash of sesame oil. A splash of soy sauce. And a splash of cooking oil. So I'm going to use my fingers to mix the sauce into the meat. Okay, let's get cooking. Okay, so I have the wok on high heat. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Give that a little swirl in the bottom. I'm going to add the chicken breast into that wok. We're going to cook the chicken breast all the way through, so it's totally cooked, because it's going to be added at the very end for the fried rice, so it's not going to cook any more than this. So you'll make sure that it's pretty cooked, but you don't want it to be dry. Once it's changed color to a white color, then it's pretty much done. You just want to make sure you turn it over at least once so that both sides are cooked. Usually when I'm cooking meat in a wok on a stir fry, you want to kind of move it around and make sure that the bottom of the meat doesn't stick to the bottom of the wok and burn. So you want to move it around that way, but you don't want to be constantly moving it around. So every once in a while, just give it a stir. So there, the meat's pretty much done. You can tell it's totally white all through. So we're going to transfer it over to a bowl, set it aside. Then we're going to wash the wok and we're going to start to fry the rice. So the wok is clean, it's on high heat. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm going to add the salted fish pieces. I'm going to add the ginger. The green onion I'm going to add last. So we're going to give that a stir. You want to make sure that the fish is quite well cooked in the oil. And the ginger is lightly browned. You don't want the ginger to burn. So once the ginger starts to turn a little on the golden side, then you can add the rice. So the ginger and the salted fish, their major reason for using them is to season the oil, and that will flavor the entire dish. Once the oil mixes in with the rice, it'll give it the salted fish and the ginger flavor. So when you add rice and you're frying rice in a wok, you want to constantly be moving it around and flipping it upside down so that the top goes down to the bottom and everything cooks evenly. And you don't want to use a lot of rice when you're making fried rice. If you use a lot of rice at the same time, it's really hard to fry the rice, and it won't come out as a really nice fried rice. Optimally 2 to 3 cups of day-old rice would be best to use at a time. If you're making fried rice for a whole bunch of people, just make into batches. Okay, so I added a pinch of salt just to season the fried rice. And yeah, it's very important that you use day-old rice. If you make this using freshly made rice, it'll be all kind of gummy and it'll stick together, and it'll be a mess to fry. It won't work at all. Okay, so we're near the end. I'm going to add the peas. I'm going to add the chicken. I'm going to add the green onions. So you want to stir it, make sure everything's all mixed up. Okay, we're going to dish it up now. With salted fish frying in the oil, it gives a really nice kind of aromatic smell, a fishy aromatic smell. If you really like fish, this would be the dish for you. So there you have it. That's Chinese chicken and salted fish fried rice. Huge dish, maybe 10 years ago. Very tasty. Okay, bon appetit.